In today's video, we're going to be going over the Dometic water system, including their rechargeable water spout and this 11-liter jerry can. I've seen a lot of people using this in overland rigs, and as I'm getting ready to build out one here in the future, as long as my truck will finally get here, I decided I wanted to give this a try. So let's jump right in. Overall, the packaging is pretty simple. That's the overall design. Nothing too fancy. It's got a nice stainless steel tip there. Obviously the Dometic markings on the front. There is your charging port. That looks like a micro USB. See if you guys can see that up there. So not USB-C, micro USB. And this right here is where the tubing will go into. Comes with some instructions. Who reads those? And then the tubing. Looks like this is like a stand of some sort. We'll look at that here in a second. And then a mesh case that's actually pretty nice. And then more instructions here. There's the tubing. This has an O-ring on it, or this end, because there is an end on the jerry can that we'll go through that this compression latches into. And this side looks like it just connects like so. Yep, fits nice and snug there. And this looks like a way to clip up extra tubing if you needed to, so you don't have to have all of this run, but it is nice that you can have this and maybe have your jerry can sitting down on the ground if all you wanted was this up and about. So yeah, I like that actually quite a bit. These plastic bags are no joke. This looks like, oh, it's magnetic. That's pretty cool. Where does that one go to? That's also magnetic. So you got a flat one and a round one. Although I don't talk about reading instructions, let's take a look at what each of those go to. What they're meant for. This one, it looks like on the instructions, we want you to put it on the jerry can itself. This one is for if you want to mount that into your camper somewhere, or just gives it a more sturdy way to stand. So I'm going to go ahead and get this charged, and then we'll continue with that. And then you got an 11-liter jerry can here. Kind of got some cool graphics on the front there, and looks like Alabama Hills. Good plastic design. It's got these straps that have Velcro on them, so you can strap this down, or you can use these eyes to put a ratchet strap or something if you want, or use these handles to strap this into place somewhere. Up here is the main hole for the connector for the compression latch. So this would go in like so, and then you can press that button and release that, which is nice. That seals back up when you do that. This is probably just a breather vent, so that way you can allow air in as you're pulling water out. This side has this removable spout, so you can pour water out. Unscrew this one and have a larger mouth to fill water in, or you could also fill water over here. Also, you can see the tubing that goes all the way in the bottom. This has a mesh screen, which is kind of nice. So if it happens to be some crap that gets inside there, it won't damage your pump. Then you'll also have this cap here that, if you want to, you can replace this side, and you now have a gravity fill. So you can use this to set it in like this orientation, and then have a place to pour water out if you didn't want to use the pump. Now, the only downside I could see something about this is I don't know what kind of pressure this is going to put out for washing dishes or things like that. Also, because you have a small area here, it's probably just good for washing hands, getting a drink of water, which is how I plan to use it, is for some fresh water like that. But that's about all I could see using it for. I've just launched pre-orders for my first ever photography book, Nature Through My Lens. It's a hardcover collection of images and stories from my first 5 years as a full-time nature photographer. There are full-page spreads, behind-the-scenes moments, and reflections on what I've learned along the way. This book is something I am really proud of. I can't wait to get these books in your hands. Now let's get back to the content. Okay, now I have this charged up. We're going to get this sucker working here. Yeah, now that's kind of sturdy there. We're going to go ahead and plug. Double tap to start is what they say. Definitely not a lot of pressure at all. So that is one of the things I did think was going to happen with it, is it wasn't going to produce a ton of water pressure, which is, it's a tiny little rechargeable unit. So that is obviously going to be the case with it. But if you pair this with something like the Camplux shower or something similar, you know, you at least have water all the time for filling a water jug or brushing your teeth or things like that. Like, there's definitely enough water pressure for that out of the Dometic. But for anything else, I probably would want to use a more of a traditional pump like you see coming with the Camplux system. So if you guys want to see my review on the Camplux setup, then you can click this video right here and that will take you to that. But for now, I will see you guys in the next adventure.